Good afternoon, everybody. So, today's title is Move Beyond Static Pages with SOLIDWORKS Composer. So, before going into today's topic, let me give you a brief intro about who we are and what we do. So, we EGS India have been providing solutions for past 30 years. So, our vision is simple: engineering development through effective partnership. What does that actually mean for you and your teams? In a fast paced industrial environment like ours, we people don't just need someone to hand you the software setup file and walk away. You need a partner who is looking ahead. We use those binoculars with intellect and experience to give you better solutions. So, if the vision is where we are looking, the mission is how we hit the target. So, empowering your engineers. We empower your engineers. We don't just provide leading edge technology. We deliver the intensive training and development your team needs to master it and stay competitive. So, we step in to help you solve complex workflow problems, turning CAD concepts into market ready products in a very fast pace. And then also we provide the localized expert backing your needs to ensure your production lines and design iterations never stall out. So what we do? So we started our organization back in 1981. We started our local operations in 1993. We have been partners with Dassault Systems from 1999. From then on, we have been doing so many things in locally. Like we started our Coimbatore operations at 2007, and in 2009 we have started our operations in Trichy. We've launched our own QC tools software, which is very helpful for quality control purposes. So we have 150 members of employees team and over 2000 plus customers. And we have a consistent growth year on year. We provide software solutions in a very technical and a very futuristic manner. So we look into your needs. We look into what are the problems we can solve, and we provide solutions. Not only stopping with solutions, we also provide technology trainings on how to use and implement those solutions in your organization to get the best out of it. And we also provide design engineering services that extends up to simulation, design validation, value engineering, and then data management solutions also. So we have partnered with Dassault Systems from 1999, as I already said. So Dassault System has over 3 lakhs plus customers. So we with Dassault System, we provide over 11 industrial verticals. We provide solutions over 11 industrial verticals. So we have solutions in multiple areas of the entire product life cycle, from the birth of the product, from the conceptual design to validating it, the complete application of the product, and then the costing that involves manufacturing that particular product in our industry. So how to deliver the actual visible and a very clear manufacturing instructions in a drawing or in a model-based definition format. We have also have CAM solutions that helps us to generate NC codes. So we can also able to do first article inspection report and our quality control with those documents. And then we have our product, the product we are going to see today, the SOLIDWORKS Composer, which helps us to build multiple levels of technical publications such as our user manuals, instruction materials, assembly instruction materials, interactive contents, training manuals, etc. So we also have our marketing tool. We call it as SOLIDWORKS Visualize, which will helps you to create photorealistic rendering images. So overall, the entire cycle, for the entire cycle of product development, we have the solutions with us. So we serve across 11 industry verticals. So today's agenda is going to be how we can able to maximize our documentation works, maximize the documentation workflow, and how can we improve the timing in that. So some of the bottlenecks we face in the documentation phase of the product development, and how the SOLIDWORKS Composer is going to help you to solve all these small struggles and help you to create better deliverables in a very short amount of time. So I'm going to showcase you a few capabilities of SOLIDWORKS Composer, and then we can able to see the business impact it creates throughout the session. So let's start today's session. So as you see, our 3D data is very perfect. We put a lot of time in creating those intellectual depthful 3D design, which has all the tolerances and everything in a very properly executed manner. So, but the documentation, it's an yes or no part. So it's not always. So if you are an engineer, a project manager, or on the top shop floor, so you already know this pain. We spend weeks building absolutely flawless high performance CAD models relevant to our industries. The engineering part is completely done, but then the entire product launch somewhat slows down due to the hiccups and due to the documentation bottlenecks we face. So we might be waiting for manuals. So the assembly instructions has not yet been completed. So we have to create marketing brochures to hit the maximum pace to deliver our products. So let's look some numbers. More than 2/3 of engineering teams admit that documentation delays the actual product launch. So imagine having a finished product with you ready to ship, but the launch is delayed by weeks simply because the work instructions are in formatted. Let's say it might be in different languages. So right now the technical writers are spending nearly half their week just recreating the views the engineering team already built in CAD. So you have a very effective, fully functional, and a very clear 3D model, but yet engineers struggle more in creating views. So for the user manuals or the contents, technical publications they are creating. So some people take screenshots, or let's say they type the entire thing. They use different tools for taking different images. Like we may need vector based images, we may need images with proper instructions that has been built into it. So we might use different tools to build all this. And then let's see, if there is a scenario that any engineering change has been passed through, you have to go and you have to reiterate everything, verify everything from the beginning, and you have to do the entire manual once again. So the entire previous iteration is not useful anymore. So this is a very painful situation. So this is the light at the end of the tunnel. So by cutting out the duplicate work using Composer, teams are getting their product to market 3 times faster than traditional manual way. So using Composer, you can able to create all these technical deliverables in a more faster manner. So why create low quality, not so effective when change comes? So your all the hard work that we put inside our documentation is completely going off. So why dealing with so much pressure, and why do all these things when we have SOLIDWORKS Composer? So we might develop different assembly instructions based on some photocopies or the photos we take. So the material we provide inside this kind of documentation will not always be perfect. That can be used on throughout all the documentations of that particular component. So we might have to redo everything from starting itself. So what if our customers can't able to understand the instructions we provide? What if our customers speak some other language? What if the instructions that we have given is not understandable or not so accurate? The customer struggles. So how do we solve it? How do we actually leverage our 3D data beyond our design usages? So how do we do that? There comes SolidWorks Composer. So this is not just another CAD tool. We are all very familiar with the CAD tools, but this is not just another CAD tool or just any other tool, but as your 3D communication powerhouse. It breaks down the silos between engineering, documentation, and the shop floor. So first, Composer acts as your single source of truth, whether you are designing in-house with SolidWorks or receiving some other third party, like let's see neutral format files or CATIA files from your vendors across the supply chain. So Composer can able to import it all over 30 different formats. The rule here is very simple. No remodeling ever. So you don't need to do any images, or you don't need to remodel your entire design to just match your requirements for your technical deliverables. So you leverage the exact 3D data the engineers already created. So who actually makes manuals? Usually it's a technical writer or a marketer, or sometimes the design engineer himself. So with the help of Composer, these people work directly with the 3D CAD data. But you don't need a 3D CAD license for this, especially if that person is specifically as a marketer or a technical writer. So this means your engineers can keep designing without being interrupted. To take screenshots, or let's say you don't need to take any extra photos for your particular documentation. So you don't need to go back and forth on your screenshots, or you don't need to jump between different websites to create photorealistic images, or let's say vector-based images for your particular applications inside your documentation. Everything is available in this single platform. So let's start with each and every functionalities that we go through. The very first functionality a marketer or a technical writer need is a detailed exploded view. So let's see how it can be created inside SolidWorks Composer. As you see, you can able to easily create exploded views. You can able to drag and drop exploded paths. So you can also link your bill of materials in a very interactive manner. Let's see one by one. So here I'm opening a CAD file which has been delivered for me. So I can easily switch between different views. This is very useful for me when I'm working with the CAD data, which I have a very minimal idea about. So you can able to easily interact with your CAD data. You can able to detect each and every component, and you can able to create exploded views in no time. So imagine if you are trying to create an exploded view detached from your existing CAD. So if you are using a CAD and if you want to create an exploded view, it is a big workflow, or it requires lots of jumps between different applications. Here, everything you see is completely associative. You can able to create exploded views in no time. And also, you can able to attach your actual BOM here with your actual component. So the bill of material ID you can able to generate. You can able to renumber your items. You can able to accurately map all the spare parts across different teams in your organization. So I've created a set of images for my actual Word document. I am just leveraging my CAD design here to create a bill of material in my documentation. I'm just selecting all the components here, and within few clicks I can able to generate a complete usable bill of material with whatever the property I need. If I need if I need material properties inside my bill of material, I can able to add that. If I need what is the status of the component, if it is a buy component or make component, I can able to simply add that in my bill of materials in a very simple manner. And also I can able to automatically balloon those components based on the numbering that I've given in my bill of material. So within no time I can able to generate a complete exploded view, detailed bill of material for that particular exploded view, and also the balloonings for that particular sub-assembly that I have been creating. So this is very much useful. So you don't just go and give just a PDF or a simple printout or a booklet that contains all the instructions to do on that particular assembly. You are giving the exact outline or the exact working of the product on your users or the deliverer's hand. You can able to rotate, explode through assembly instructions. You can able to run the entire output inside a browser or a free viewer. So you can able to do all these things. So basically what I'm doing is I'm simply publishing my design in an HTML format so that anybody in my organization can able to view that inside their browser or a handheld device to understand the product as the way we want to. So if a sensitive product which has a very high levels of tolerance, we have to be very careful with our deliverable. Let's say it is an assembly instruction manual. We have to be very careful. So not just by giving any additional document that just illustrates how to assemble this particular assembly, which might not be enough clarity, you can able to give these kinds of deliverable to your shop floor people or the people who are working with these kind of documents. So you can also able to create interactive contents like this. So as you see, I am projecting a whole product which has 4 different drawings, and for each drawings I am presenting it with a bill of material. So each drawing contains a part number and the description and the quantity. I can able to switch in between products, or I can able to switch from the assemblies to sub-assemblies and up to the basic part level. So I can able to view everything in one environment itself in my handheld device also. So this is very much useful and very much handy when it comes to providing someone with assembly instructions or any kind of user manuals. So you can able to create both user manuals in a printable format, and also you can able to create these kinds of videos in SolidWorks Composer. So upon creating videos, we might need animations. In SolidWorks Composer, you can able to completely edit your animations, your video inside SolidWorks Composer. We have all the functionalities that requires for the video editing, especially the keyframe, the camera movement, the lighting, so the motion paths of that particular parametric components. If you are capturing a particular movement inside an assembly, you can able to capture that inside SolidWorks Composer. Apart from all this, all you see is completely associative. So when the geometry updates, your animation paths, your camera views, your everything that you have set inside your Composer document automatically updates. So basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a complete animation with the images that I've created inside SolidWorks Composer. As you see, I'm simply clicking and placing my images in different time frames of that particular assembly animation. So after placing all this, I can able to decide what is the duration for each and every frame that I've created. Creating your photo stills or frames is very easy inside SolidWorks Composer. When it comes to creating animations, the frames, the key photos that you have created helps you in a major way. I can able to create these kinds of animation, which also includes the bill of materials inside the instruction. So this is very much handy. We can also able to simulate, or we can also able to iterate actual movement or actual components that is inside an assembly based on what is the time frame or what is the key time frame that we are adding. So based on my input, I can able to create different kinds of animation that is complicates from very simple animation to a complete instruction video, as you see here. So I'm just opening this particular component to showcase what are the components inside this particular casting. So you can able to create these kinds of animated outputs inside SolidWorks Composer using our animation pane. You can also able to render photorealistic images from the composer itself for you to use inside your documentation purposes. So we already talked about this. We might face design changes in design phase itself, or when the product is manufacturing. They might give some feedbacks or reviews. Based on the feedbacks and reviews, engineering team usually does some minor changes in those products. So without Composer, if you are receiving any ECO notification, you have to manually identify which are the views or which are the images that you have put inside your documentation has been changed. You have to redraw or reiterate your entire exploded views. You have to re-verify your bill of materials completely. If there is any part number or any entity that belongs to BOM has changed, you have to re-verify and update that. You have to regenerate all the call out lines. So you have to republish that entire document from the scratch. This obviously involves obviously takes a lot of time, because you're redoing an entire document which you already created for the previous iteration of the document. Let's see what can we do with the Composer. Simple. You just open your file, you click synchronized. So you just review what are the changes that has been made inside and outside the actual documentation that you have been created. And when you verify it, you just click update, and all the documentations and all the images, all the output files, project files, which contains all the animations, everything is updated across the board, which consumes very minimal amount of time when compared to our manual traditional workflow. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just updating my older version of file with a newer version of file, which hardly takes me few seconds only. So my bill of material is updated, all my views are updated. So all the snaps I've been taken for my PDF document or the user instruction manuals has been completely updated across the board. Not only here, but also on my Word document also. I'll come to that. So we might use lots of vector-based images or rendered images, which we struggle to get from different platform. We create images that we require from different platforms or different applications that we use, which is obviously time consuming, and nothing in the traditional environment is completely connected. So if you are changing any single thing, you have to redo that entire process. So we have rendering functionality inside our SolidWorks Composer, which gives you high definition images straight from the CAD geometry. So you can able to reuse the materials, you can able to set all the textures, you can able to set the lighting, background, what is the floor, everything you can set inside SolidWorks Composer. And if you are following a particular colorway or a particular looker for your particular brand, you can able to save it as a template and you can able to reuse it. So I'm just importing a particular texture on a component that I've been using inside my SolidWorks. I can able to edit that texture. I can able to fine tune what is the actual requirement for my image here in this environment. So not only this, I can able to determine what is the actual lighting that my scenario goes through. So as you see, I can able to switch between different views and I can able to adjust the lighting that I'm setting here. So based on the lightings, based on the textures, the depth that we can able to give, we can able to determine or we can able to obtain high quality rendered images from SolidWorks Composer. This is very much useful because everything you do is completely associated with our CAD file. So if your CAD file gets updated, all your rendering, all your documentation, all your animation videos or project files, everything will be updated across the board. So with one single source, which is your CAD file, you can able to get all the industry standard outputs. Let's say it might be PDF, it might be instruction video, or it might be an interactive 3D presentable website content. Everything that you can able to create and publish from SolidWorks Composer. So one single source feeds engineering, marketing, training materials, and web contents. So this completely lowers the effort of maintaining parallel asset pipelines. So if you are maintaining different assets for different environments, like if you are posting web-based iterative training videos, or if you are posting web-based manuals, if you are creating your actual manuals in a hard copy, you can able to maintain all this in a very effective and easy manner. So basically what I'm doing here is I can able to take vectorized images from my SolidWorks Composer itself. I'm simply saving what is the image I need, and I can able to get this kind of output, SVG output, with the bill of material, which also highlights based on what you click inside that environment. So this is completely possible, and this is a very easy process using SolidWorks Composer when we are creating web-based contents. So this will be very much helpful when you are creating training materials, assembly instruction manuals, which has all these informations packed into it. Because it is associative, it will update when any changes occurs to your actual CAD model. And not only your vectorized images, and also you can able to create different images that you have been pairing with your actual document. So let's say if you are creating a particular technical document for a particular SPM or an assembly, if you are creating any images, means you can able to link your particular image inside your web document itself. So I'm doing that here. I'm just linking my particular image inside this specification document, which has all the bill of materials, material standards, and system requirements based on every functionality that I have been engineered into that particular assembly. So when I'm inserting a file or when I'm inserting an image, I'm inserting it with a link which always keeps this document linked with my CAD file and my Composer project file. So when it gets updated, all my Word files also gets updated. So you don't need to go and do all the updates manually. So you can also create this kind of interactive web-based content. So as you see, I'm in this video, we are trying to explain how you can able to assemble a particular piston, and also a complete assembly instruction video which contains all the names of the particular components and how you can able to assemble in a right manner with all the detailed views that is required for this particular application, which requires high tolerances and high being very careful. So because this has very high tolerance levels, so we have to be careful when we assemble it. So every instruction is highlighted and every instruction is completely showcased in a very understandable manner inside SolidWorks Composer. So using SolidWorks Composer, you can able to create these kinds of outputs. So what is the ROI that we can able to witness when we use SolidWorks Composer? So we can able to witness 60% or more than 60% of reduction in documentation cycle time. So a considerable reduction in dealer training costs, because we might be using different applications. So different applications requires different experience for that particular working environment. We can able to neglect that. So we can able to push our product for the marketing launch or for the manufacturing or assembly in a very faster manner. So, and then we can also able to create part catalogs, training based documents in a parallel manner. So you don't need to go and invest your time for every single documentation in a specific timeline. You can able to do all these in a parallel working methodology, where design engineers can stop rebuilding views after every engineering change that has been issued. So they can able to focus on design. So your rework cost will be completely eliminated. So your own visual assets that you can able to create, so you don't need to depend or wait on any other application or any other specific use case in this environment. So let's see an example for a web-based content. So as you see, this is a web-based content. So we can able to create these kind of interactive web-based content using SolidWorks Composer. This has all the requirements that we can able to showcase inside our website. So we can able to add the usage instructions inside our web-based attachments that we have been creating using SolidWorks Composer. So let's see one of the tutorial. So this is a tutorial, this is an instruction manual that we have been provided for changing batteries and all. So basically these kind of outputs we can able to create using our SolidWorks Composer. We are not doing anything from the scratch. We are just leveraging our existing design data that we have created for our manufacturing purposes to leverage it for both documentation creation, marketing, and training content creation inside our organization. So this is one simple example. But so a small recap of what we have seen. We can able to completely leverage our design data. In this case, if we are developing SolidWorks assembly, if you can able to import that inside Composer, Upon importing it into Composer, we can able to create different types of views, which also involves all the exploded views, the instruction sets that we are going to create, all the bill of materials that we can able to attach. Based on this instruction views, we can able to create training animations, and we can also able to create marketing render and web-based applications based on our requirement using SolidWorks Composer. If we are procuring any software, or let's say Composer, we will study all your requirements, the scope of work, what are the things that you have been struggling with inside your organization. As we already said, our vision is to grow with our engineering partners. So we will study and we will help you to implement the best solutions to develop or to get the best output out of that particular solution. We will train you according to your particular application inside your organization. We have an extensive technical support team which can able to support both on call or in visits. We can able to sit with you through your pilot projects. So we have different types of customer certifications that we can able to enroll you. So we will be inviting you on these kinds of events where we share our knowledge so with you, which will be very much helpful in improving and enhancing all the inside requirements or inside practices inside your organization. So these are some of the our customers who have been using and getting benefited from SolidWorks Composer.